Good morning. Today we are going to go on a neighborhood herb walk. I live in the northern United States and I'm going to show you some herbs and edible plants that are pretty common across the northern United States and even the whole United States and even sometimes worldwide. And we're going to talk about their benefits, we're going to show you how easy it is to spot them, and at the end I'm going to make an infused oil. Alright, let's get into it. In the very beginning of our walk, we came upon a big leaf maple tree. Now these are pretty ubiquitous amongst the woods and neighborhoods of the entire northern United States and probably most of Canada. I mean, isn't it Canada's literal flag emblem? Anyway, these weird alien broccoli looking guys are actually big leaf maple flowers right before they bloom, and they are edible and medicinal, and weirdly delicious if you like that kind of characteristic bitter cucumbery wild food taste. Like most of the herbs that you gather in the spring, maple flowers are specifically helpful for liver and gallbladder conditions, and in Chinese medicine, the springtime is the time of the liver and gallbladder, and it is a great time to do little gentle detoxes, including plants like maple and of our favorite dandelion. Now, dandelion is everywhere. The most important thing about collecting and harvesting dandelion is you want to make sure that no dog has peed on it, no one sprayed chemicals on it. So just make sure you know what you're getting when you harvest dandelion. And this little guy is called shotweed. Shotweed is in the mustard family, which means that it has a mustardy flavor. It has a lot of anti-cancer properties like broccoli and cabbage, and it is a really tender and delicious herb that you're going to want to pick and put in your food, because if you just let it grow, it will take over your garden and make you really angry all the time. So as you can see, I am picking it. Well, I didn't pick it there, but I will. And this is a big patch of shotweed with dandelion, and we are just going to pick a bunch of it for later. What do we have over here? These little purple flowers are something called dead nettle. They're not related to stinging nettle, so don't worry about getting stung, but they are edible and medicinal. Now, let me be honest, they're not delicious, but they make a great tea that is really helpful for springtime allergies. Actually, any allergies, and reducing any sort of sinus congestion, sinus inflammation, antiviral, antifungal. Great for just clearing out your sinuses for the springtime. And this is my daughter practicing her backwards walks. She's gotten pretty good at it. Now we come upon a Forsythia, which is a really commonly planted herb that we all love to have in our yards, and these are its flowers, very beautiful, very bright yellow. In Chinese medicine, lian chow, the fruit, is called the herbal antibiotic because it treats all sorts of infections. But I have not seen a Forsythia fruit because I think the birds eat it. Nevertheless, we can use the flowers in tea, we can put them on cakes, in salads, as candies. It is a delicious and very easy to find flower. As you can see, we're picking a couple and munching on them. This is just your average, northern North American neighborhood. We have a lot of cedar trees, a lot of alder trees. It's, you could be anywhere. This is a lot of places in northwestern America. And over here is the greatly invasive Himalayan blackberry, and it has little baby sprouts of leaves on it. And you can eat these baby leaves, and they don't taste terrible. They actually taste kind of like puckery and sweet, and deer eat them to be able to have energy to make deer babies, I guess. But it's a really good trail snack if you're hiking, or I guess if you're starving in the woods, but then your problems are bigger than that, aren't they? Blackberry is in the rose family, which is known for being universally edible. So if you know how to identify blackberry or any rose family plant, then you are golden. This is what they look like, just tiny little leaf buds. Over here in this mess of bramble and overgrown grass and dandelions, I'm looking for other stuff, and I found something. This is called Indian plum. It has really tender, bright green little leaves, little white flowers that kind of dangle from it. I'm trying to pick it so gracefully. And Indian plum leaves taste just like cucumber. Again, a little on the bitter side because they are wild, but it's really great as a free wild green that you can just pick and put it in your stir fries or soups or salads or whatever. Just an easy way to get your greens that isn't going to the store and buying one of those like 1 pound tubs of spinach and then putting it in the back of your fridge and then forgetting about it and then being greeted with a slimy mess. I prefer to harvest my greens wild or out of my garden so I don't have to store them. We went on a little coffee walk all the way to the coffee stand. Willow got a hot chocolate, and we're gonna go sit under one of our favorite trees and drink them. This is the Sakura tree, or the cherry blossom tree. Most of these are bred for their flowers and not their fruit, and as you can see, it is a beautiful flower. The Sakura season is so short wherever you live. It's never long enough for me. I wish it was all year. But then would I appreciate it as much? I forgot to mention, you can make Sakura ice cream or Sakura tea. You can put it in a lot of foods. And this is little gifts that Willow gave me. Our chickens are finally laying eggs again. That has nothing to do with herbs, but I was excited about it and wanted to share. I love spring because my chickens will lay 9 eggs in a day. This is just some Wagyu beef I am cooking up with the shotweed that I collected. I chopped it up into little bits and I just used it as kind of like a peppery green, and I made cabbage rolls out of it and they were delicious. We ate them all immediately. And here I am going to show you how to make an infused oil out of maple flowers. Maple blossoms, do we like to call it that? Anyway, you'll need some olive oil. I like the extra virgin stuff. You'll need a glass jar. You'll need to dump out all your flowers just to make sure that there's no bugs or anything. Look at all those chickens. You need to... Here I am, kind of pondering my existence. I don't know why. Why does it take me forever to do stuff? Anyway, I'm just gracefully shoving them in this jar, as you do. Herbalism is really uncomplicated, people. Like, don't gatekeep information. Like, a lot of it's just us putting stuff in jars and then pouring alcohol or oil over it or something. As you can see, I want to get every last bit. I tamped it down a little bit to make sure that no air bubbles will come, because that could increase the chance of spoilage. And then, because this is a complicated maneuver, I am just dumping oil on top of it. Look at that drip. So you're going to want to store this in a cool, dark place, just like any infused oil, and shake it every day or whenever you think about it. I had a revelation and I realized I wanted to add salt to this, because this is not a body oil I'm making, this is a culinary oil, and salt will also help prevent it from spoiling. We're using a fresh herb here because the fresh flowers have a lot of good stem cells in them, and I want to get all the medicinal benefits, but the water content in fresh herbs make it more risky for spoilage. So the salt will help that, and I like salted oils. Like, they're kind of pickly tasting, aren't they? Now, when this oil is done infusing in a few weeks, I can use it as a salad dressing, or in a marinade or sauce or something. Okay, I think it looks really cool. It's already like a green olive oil, and now it has these bright green flowers in it. This is gonna be super like emerald colored by the time it's done. Oh, and I am remembering the most important part, which sometimes I forget, embarrassingly, and that is to put a label on the dang thing. I always put a label on your herbal preparations, otherwise you'll be like me and pulling just weird stuff out of your cabinet, and are like, what in the Sam Hill is this? What was I thinking? But if you put a label on it with a date and what it is, then you won't have to worry about that. You'll know exactly what sort of weird pickled herb you made those many months ago. Look, I'm being fancy. I said maple floss. FLOS is an abbreviation for flowers that fancy Latin botanists use. And that is it. Very stoked about this. Gonna check on it in 2 weeks. And until then, just gonna keep it in the cabinet. Try making infused oils. It's super easy. To all of my subscribers, thank you for your infinite patience. I know it's been so long since I posted, and I'm gonna try to start doing it more. And anyway, love you lots, and I'll see you next time. Bye!